Hello, folks. Welcome to another Global Mass Meditation Live with David and my divine counterpart here, Kelly. Going to be a very powerful one tonight. Of course, you saw the label or the description or the title, sorry, one of the five, in the meditation that you're onto now. And it's about transition. And it's really about transitioning from some of the things that are holding us back. It's about transitioning from some of the inner child work we're going to be doing tonight. So from the inner child to the grown up, what would you call it? I don't know, the advanced soul, the adult in spirituality. So it's going to be a very powerful working tonight. So bring your best inner child energies. We're going to be addressing some of those. I know we've got some very deep things we're going to be doing. Of course, if you're not in that deep mood, that's okay. You can come and watch this back when you're ready. But we're grateful for your presence tonight, wherever you're coming from. I know we have a truly global audience, so welcome, everyone.
Yes, welcome, and let us know where you guys are from in the comments. We always love to hear from you. March is actually one of the most important energetic months of 2023. So just after our last meditation we did on Monday, March 6th, on the 7th, it's just been a huge astrological transit as the planet Saturn moved into Pisces. So there has been great change this week. The Saturn transits, we feel them because they only happen once every 3 years. And Saturn is like that ruling planet, rules the government, all of that sort of thing. So we really feel it when Saturn is doing what it's doing, moving out of an alignment where it's very comfortable and can really overpower and take that authority into where we're at now, which is Pisces, which is kind of a disregard for rules and boundaries. So Saturn gets a little bit uncomfortable, and that is great for us because we get to flex our freedom a little bit. And there's just so much happening. I feel like even this week, yesterday, it was daylight savings time.
Yeah.
And it kicked our butt.
It did, yeah.
I was so tired.
Complete perfect segue into tonight's feature. 2 designs we've got for you. Those of you who are familiar with our e-commerce store, we do a feature design for the meditation every week. I know a lot of you are picking up t-shirts and hoodies and things. So
David's Earth Alliance hoodie.
Alliance, yeah.
But he's doing the feature design now for every meditation, which is new and exciting. And
speaking about rule breakers, one of tonight's feature designs is Ground Crew. As you can see on the screen here, go check it out. When you have a moment, not necessarily now, but whenever you feel called to do so. We have these in t-shirts and hoodies. This is the men's, so it says Ground Crew there, and then hashtag 144K underneath that on the bottom right. This is the, of course, we have multiple colors. These are not the only colors we have. This is the men's hoodie.
I love the green and the gray, though. It's super cute.
It looks cool. This is the ladies.
So Ground Crew, like we're the ones on the front lines doing the work, and that's exactly what that means, right?
And there's the ladies hoodie. And I've got a different ladies color as well for you coming up very quickly. Yeah, it's about saluting you, the Ground Crew, us here doing the work on the ground and holding the line and bringing in this new age. It's really, it's a powerful time, guys. So
we are the change. So when we experience these big astrological changes, it's about us embracing the change within. So that's what we were hoping to embrace with these t-shirts today. And what else did you got? There was another one that was pretty cute that you did.
I will do that. I'll bring this up. So that was the ladies, guys. So ladies has got the blue and or mauve color, the sort of purpley, greeny bluey color. And I just done a different feature design for the women's. If you want to pick up a pink one as well, they're kind of cool. If you're in a couple, you can do men's and ladies, guys and gals. Yeah, but the next design tonight, especially for tonight's meditation, is you can't read it so much on the screen there, but it says shadow work is my love language. So that's definitely a theme for tonight. This is the men's hoodie. Shadow work is my love language.
I love that because it just says that we're willing to work on ourselves, and we desire that divine connection and communication and to really just get deep and vulnerable. We don't care so much for the surface level, but it's about, figuring out who we really are and going within. So I love that, honey.
Yeah. So rather than make a donation to us directly, we would prefer that you go to our store and pick up a t-shirt. They're extremely reasonably priced. We don't mark up our stuff like a lot of products out there are marked up 400-500%. We don't do that because we're not looking to create a ton of revenue from the store. We're just looking to get our high vibe designs out there. So we would prefer if you go to our store and pick up something that you like. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't something. And that way you're donating to us and also you're picking up something for yourself. So it's kind of a cool exchange. So we would prefer that. But yeah, those are 2 designs for tonight. Very cool. Really enjoyed building those for you over the last 24 hours today, in fact. But let's get in the meditation groove. I know a lot of you are here for that, obviously. So let's start that 60 to 120 second countdown, a couple of minutes, and we will start to go into the depths of the family of light work.
All right, honey. Well, I'll take us in as you get everything ready and get the music set up. I basically just wanted to say, as we're on the topic of clothing, just wear what's comfortable. We're doing inner child healing. We've been talking about making this huge transition along with the planets, and we're really making a huge transition ourselves, really embracing the change and the new people that we've grown to be through doing all of this divine healing. So tonight we are really going to honor and connect with our inner child so that we can really heal that side of our shadow, so that we can move forward being that whole and complete version of self. So anything that makes your inner child feel safe, if you want to grab a comfy blankie. I was going to do my hair in pigtails. I thought that was too much, but I am wearing my favorite bracelet from my favorite little starseed, Khaleesi. And she is probably the youngest viewer that we have on Sunflower Life and the youngest meditator that I know. She's about 5 or 6 years old. And
you can't get these from our store yet. But
you can't get these from our store. No, this is made straight from the heart. And she gave it to me. And it symbolizes our friendship. So that's very special. So just anything that you feel you want to do into these last moments before we move into this meditation, however you want to connect with or honor your inner child. There's a huge shift coming up next Monday. Our next meditation is the spring equinox. So
that's a big one.
Again, this is the new astrological year. So before we move into that new year and this new emerging self, we're just bringing all the old pieces and collecting everything in with us to, make us really whole and complete moving into that next cycle.
Yeah, guys. So let's get started here. I've laid in some music. Just let me know that the volume of the music and our voices are okay. Give us a 5x5 in the chat. Let us know if it's too low or too high, or if it's good for you. And we will get started in about 60 seconds.
Shall we meditate? We shall.
Shall we meditate, David?
Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm not holding it right.
It's a different one, this one, yeah. Oh, Pookie's ready.
Everyone's ready.
All right, looks like it's good. 5x5. Okay, music is perfect. Okay, let's transition. Let's bring Joshua up on the screen here. We will be working with Jesus the Christ tonight, as well as Archangel Michael. And of course, as well as any other guides and team that you wish to bring in. Bring your awareness to them now as we do a quick activation before we head into the main body of work. So I want to invite you all just to close your eyes now and take 2 or 3 deep centering breaths. Pay attention to the body, the physical body, this great vessel that we've been gifted with. Let us pay our gratitude to it now. As we salute you, the family of light, for joining us once again. You're doing the work. You're dedicating your time to healing, to shifting, to raising your vibration. So give yourself a pat on the back in your mind's eye. The galactics are watching, the whole galaxy is watching. Certainly the divine hierarchy is as well. Let us feel their presence as we bring them in now. Let us begin with an I am activation, bringing the soul closer to the physical body in connection, in awareness. As you hear these words, just feel that connectedness now. Mighty I am presence, which I am, now take charge in full mastery of this body. See that I go and come from it consciously and at will. Never again can it bind me or limit my freedom. I call upon the pillar of the pure white light, descend upon me, form all around me, move through me now, cleanse me. I ask for the presence of the I am that I am. Merge and join with me now. So be it, and so it is. Call upon your guides and your team, whoever you're working with, to join you at this time. We ask for the presence of the archangels of the four directions, north, south, east, and west, to hold the space for protection. Raise an energy grid of Christed light around us now. Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, join us now. Be at the four directions to hold the space for us. We now call upon the divine hierarchy to be with us, to encircle us, overlight us, and amplify the energies for tonight's inner child work. We ask for the presence of Jesus the Christ, Saint Germain the loved one, Zoroaster the king, Zarathustra the magi, Lao Tzu the old sage, the Buddha, Babaji the Eternal One, Lahiri Mahasaya, the Smiling Guru, Sri Yukteswar, the Teacher, Paramahansa Yogananda, the Gift, El Moria, the Lord of the First Ray, Kuthumi, the Great Guiding Light, Dwal Kul, the Master Teacher, Paul the Venetian, Serapis Bey, the Lord of Ascension, Hilarion, the Bringer of Joy, the English Master, Douglas Baker, the Keeper of this ashram, Sanat Kumara, the Ancient of Days, Great Mother Isis, Mary Magdalene and the High Priestess energies, Amun-Ra, Vesta, and Helios, the Solar Logos, Kuan Yin, the Incandescent One, Aina, the Ninth Dimensional Guide, Mohammed, the Prophet, and Joshua, who walked with God. The Masters in you, Yahweh in you, Saviors in you. Take a deep breath in through the nose and hold the breath. Activate the pineal, Activate, activate. And release when ready. And another deep, deep breath in and hold. Lighting up the cave. And release. And a final deep, deep breath in. Lighting up the cave. Activate the pineal. Bring it online. The great etheric lighthouse. And release. Let us relax all muscles of the body as we go deeper, deeper together tonight.
Hello and welcome, star seeds and family of light. Thank you so much for joining us. There has been a profound shift in the energies. Saturn has moved into Pisces, and it will be in transit here for the next 3 years. Saturn is forever challenging us, but because Saturn becomes somewhat debilitated in Pisces, the tide has turned, so to speak, making us now able to pull back on the reins. In order to embrace this change fully, we must first embrace the change within ourselves. With all the healing and all of the work that we have done on ourselves, we have come leaps and bounds from who we once were to remembering who we truly are and what we came to planet Earth for at this time. We are connected to the divine more than ever and peeling back the layers more and more. Although sometimes it can still feel like we are hitting barriers and blockages, indicating there is still something holding us back. At times, triggers, insecurities, worry, and fear still finds us, even despite this newfound awareness and connection. There is a part of you, a part of the shadow that has not quite been able to fully integrate into this whole and complete version of self, indicating something has been overlooked. So it is time to dive deep, family of light. Let us really relax into whatever position feels most comfortable and take a few big, deep belly breaths as you begin to construct your own personal pyramid of light all around you now. Move into this pyramid, your place of protection and healing. Relax deeper as you prepare to surrender to whatever comes up for you in this meditation. Now, dear one, I'm asking you to lean into your memories. I want you to go back to the dawn of your conscious memory, the first memory you had here in this current life experience. What is your first memory? It could be as early as age 2, or maybe as late as age 5 or 6. Try not to think of a photograph unless you can tangibly remember being in that event. Think of an actual memory and how it played out. think about your very first memory. It could be something meaningful or something minor, like accidentally cutting your own hair. But go back to this time, place, space, and see yourself as what you look like back then. And then try and remember how you felt about that moment or event. Maybe you were upset or just indifferent. Maybe you can recall a plethora of emotions from that one memory. Just try to remember in as much detail as you can. Next, and from that moment, perhaps as you get a little older, I would now like you to try and remember any significant loss that happened to you when you were quite young. Think of a loss that happened to you somewhere from the dawn of your conscious memory through your childhood. Something that you remember that really impacted you and your life. Some examples of significant losses would be death or losing someone close to you. It could be your parents getting a divorce or having one of your parents work out of town and be gone all the time. These would be substantial losses in close relationships. A big loss you could have experienced as a child is moving homes or changing schools. Even something that ended up being positive can still have a significant loss component that has never been addressed. Perhaps something happened with your health, or maybe you had a bad accident. These are also significant losses because we lost time or the ability to do something. A loss can also be a traumatic or abusive event, which contributes to the loss of childhood or even a loss of innocence. Try and see if you can remember at least one significant event that happened to you as a child that you perceived as being a great loss to you. It's not about how you feel now as an adult. It is how you perceived and felt about it then as a child. Focus on this loss and try and remember exactly how you felt. And if you can, I want you to think of words that describe those feelings that you felt as a child in that moment. Words like unheard or unsafe, perhaps confused or embarrassed. Maybe you felt like a burden. Maybe you felt rejected, threatened, worthless, unloved, neglected. These are just some examples. See if you can come up with a few more. Sit with the feelings of your inner child over what happened in the past. take a moment to process how you felt. And let's just validate those feelings by allowing ourselves to feel them. We aren't here to make excuses for the people involved or even try to understand why it happened. We are just allowing ourselves to feel what our inner child felt that day, and from that perspective alone, how it felt to be you as a child. Try and picture yourself. Try and picture what you looked like back then. Try and recall as many details as possible. Because here comes the important part. It's time to ask yourself. It's time to ask the inner child inside of you what they needed. What did you need as a child in those hard moments? What did you need? It's a very important question to ask ourselves, because most of us as children didn't have the vocabulary, the understanding, or the confidence to address or articulate what our needs were. So instead, our own needs, feelings, and emotions became blocked. They were not able to flow through us. And the longer we go without addressing them, the more deep they get buried into our subconscious minds. And when doing so, they get lost. And we lose a part of ourselves. We compromise ourselves. We lose a part of ourselves every time we are not true to our heart. And those parts of us have been hiding deep in the shadows ever since. And they do pop up sometimes to let us know that they're still there. They still have needs, and they are still struggling. So they pop into your life as the triggers, as the insecurities, the worries and the fears, the reactionary outburst, the angers, and the sadness that becomes all too consuming at times. These reactions and emotions seemingly come out of nowhere. These are the patterns and behavior we so easily slip back into. All of that emotional stuff comes up. It seems really difficult to find the root cause of it. It's the part of ourself that we've been working on for so long and trying to figure out. All of a sudden, the light feels a little brighter around you as it suddenly becomes clear. The shadow is not who you are now, dear ones. Not at all. This is not the evolved self that you are now. This is your inner child, begging to be seen and heard. And they have so much fear because they've been forgotten about for so long, hidden away, and not even looked at. But they are still there in the darkest shadows, just waiting to be rescued, waiting for someone to come save them from the darkness. So this is the mission And this is what we must do in order to get them back. We must get very clear about what we were feeling in those moments of our childhood. We need to find out what that little child needed instead of what they got. What did you need then that you didn't receive? And as you ask yourself, remember that you are still connected to this little person. So sense into yourself at this age. Remember how you were, if you were sensitive or really timid. Think about who you were then. What kind of child were you? Connect with this part of you inside of you now. Really tune in and ask her or him, what did she need that she didn't get? Or what did he need that he didn't get? What does she really need? What does he really need? And ponder. Contemplate on this for another moment. And find the answers that come to you. Breathe deeply. Connect and feel. You know, most of us just needed a better example, really. An example of what unconditional love looks like. An example of good health. An example of what it is to be in a loving relationship. An example of setting boundaries. Of having balanced emotions. Leadership, good communication. So as we start to realize that there were probably a lot of things we needed and didn't get as children, it's easy to have blame and shame come up for those we feel may have been responsible for not being there for us and giving us what we need. But this is where who we are now steps in, because we have done a lot of work to be where we are now. And we can understand why they weren't able to be there for us. Clearly, they weren't even able to be there for themselves. So as we know, the only way to relieve karmic ties and cut these energetic cords in relationships is to forgive. I know that can be a tall task, and I'm not going to ask you to forgive if you are unable to. I'm only going to ask you to acknowledge things happened and it wasn't your fault. Absolutely, yes, please send forgiveness and love to those relationships if you can. But if you are not ready, then just acknowledge that you didn't get what you needed as a child, and that there still might be a lot of feelings and emotions here. Acknowledge that you aren't quite ready to forgive yet. And this is all perfectly fine. This is something you can always come back to later when you're ready to address those relationships. But tonight's meditation is not about those relationships, because any relationship or event that happened is still something that is outside of you and it's not fully in your control. So tonight, we focus on the only thing we can control, and that is us, who you are now, and the connection to your inner child who is living inside of you. Tonight, the healing is so profound because we are working on oneself. We are the nucleus, and what we are doing here and now will affect the entire periphery, those relationships and those events. You are changing, dear one, and the change is already taking place as we are moving forward, becoming the highest version of self. It takes first becoming the whole and complete version of self. But we cannot do that unless that little child comes out of hiding, until they come out of the shadow. And this they will not do until they feel safe enough to do so. Safe enough to express their feelings and needs, which we have allowed them to do here and now in this meditation. There is really only one thing left for us to do here tonight as the adult versions of ourselves. We vow to take full accountability and responsibility for this child. We vow to become everything that they need and more. We vow to take their hand and become the parent that they never had. We vow to become the example. Imagine this is happening. You see this taking place in your mind's eye. Picture yourself there as a child. And now envision yourself as an adult entering the scene, kneeling down, and talking at eye level with the 5, 6, 7-year-old version of you as a child. See the adult version of yourself stepping in and wanting to take full responsibility for the child. Visualize a warm hug and embrace. Witness building trust and building a bond. Tell the child that you are strong and fully capable of taking care of them and their needs, that you are willing to do anything for them, and that you want them with you and beside you for everything, because you recognize that side of you. It highlights the fun, playfulness, creativity, curiosity, and imagination. Apologize to your inner child if you feel called for not coming sooner. Let them feel the boundless love you have for them. Tell them everything is going to be all right as you exude calm, confidence, and leadership. And when it is time, put your hand out in front of them and ask them if they would like to come with you now, to be with you forever, as you promise to take care of them always. They have nothing to fear anymore because you will always protect them and listen to their needs. Your inner child looks at you with tears in their eyes. slightly confused, as they have been waiting to be rescued for so long. They never pictured their hero would in fact be you, or them when they're older being the person that finally comes to save them. But they know you and they know your heart, so they take your hand. And in this moment, a great explosion of light, followed by an overwhelming feeling of love and gratitude, as you finally feel yourself becoming whole and complete. Smiling to yourself now in your personal pyramid of light. Maybe some tears are flowing, but you do feel your emotions start to balance. You feel your nervous system relax as you find it slightly easier to find calmness and presence in this now moment. You take it in, take a breath in, and let it go, as you know you have done something great. I will let you know of an integration process that varies for individuals as you become more and more aware of when you are neglecting your inner child and compromising yourself in the area of self-love. They will be the first to let you know. You might have an outburst or feel deeply triggered, but be grateful for this process, because now you know how to listen to what your inner child is trying to tell you. Now you know they need you in that moment to be the calm, confident leader. They need you to be the example of unconditional love by consciously choosing love whenever they become afraid. This technique is called reparenting our inner child, seeing our own emotional blockages not as our own as adults, but by recognizing it really is us as a child. And so the adult, awake version of self will no longer have a choice but to look inside and see the child, the root of the emotion. It forces us to go within, when we are normally so programmed to seek answers or band-aids outside of ourselves. Our inner child is truly here to help us, and you will see that clearly as you have made the decision to fully integrate this part of you. So I would like to thank you for showing up for yourself and for the collective consciousness to take on this labor of love and to become whole and complete. And as we move into the astrological new year next Monday, this is one of the last callings to make such a colossal quantum leap in your own ascension timeline. And this will greatly benefit you moving forward. This is not easy work. So I will make one suggestion I would like you to take with you into the physical world. And that is to find a picture of yourself as a child, right around the time of when you had these significant losses and events taking place in your life. print the picture, and place it somewhere you'll see it every day. And let this photo serve as a reminder of the commitment you have made to your inner child. When this photo finds you, send it love and gratitude for guiding you to take accountability in your life. Keep the photo in sight for as long as necessary, or until you feel the integration is complete. Take a few more deep belly breaths now. As you find yourself deeply relaxed in your personal pyramid, all of a sudden, you can feel the presence as an orb of light enters into the space above you.
So let us take a moment to allow those integrated energies to process. Let us feel a divine healing becoming unlocked. Maybe it happened tonight, maybe it's yet to happen at the right time. We cannot rush these healings. But allow yourself to feel the healing. Allow yourself to feel there is healing to do, or perhaps that you've already done. And as these energies integrate, it is time for a distraction, shall we say, to take the mental body off tonight's healing work before we complete it. The great orb of light in your own personal pyramid is split into two, and it has formed into two beings, two of which you are greatly familiar with. It is Jesus the Christ and Archangel Michael. Great Master Jeshua, the elder brother, is always with you, and especially as we do healing work, he is always there to overlight and guide you. So he will remain with us tonight. But Archangel Michael has a message. So lie down upon the great crystal table in your pyramid of light. Feel the great transmuting energies of the violet flame underneath. They will also assist you in your inner child healing. Feel yourself go a level deeper now. Allow the words of Archangel Michael to bless you with great light in preparation for tonight's final inner child work. Archangel Michael speaks. Beloved Masters, have we not told you that these are indeed unprecedented times? That you will be called upon to do deeper healing like tonight. To do this work is difficult at times, but it is a blessing. We in the higher realms salute you. We are with you always. Your universe now is being bombarded by a great, what we would call, mega cycle of light impulses infused with adamantine particles of light. These are coming directly from the heart of the Supreme Creator. This is why you have been called upon this evening to do this work. You are indeed being prepared for another level. You see it as a time for reunification at all levels, from the highest to the lowest. Therefore, the attributes, aspects, and virtues of the Great Mother Creator will be the dominant force in the universe until balance is once again restored. Our omnipotent Mother can focus on every aspect of creation at once, so be assured that she is aware of everything that happens in her universe, and she never ceases to radiate her sacred love to you. Perhaps, indeed, you may say, this is why I have been called upon to do my inner child work again this evening. Our great Divine Mother is overlightingness, yes, of course. Remember that your DNA is encoded with divine love, great compassion and creativity also, as well as strength, power, and the will to create, which were passed on to each of you by our spiritual godparents. It is now time to integrate and claim all of the blessings, all of the gifts they have endowed you with. The strongest force in the omniverse is indeed the love force, which is radiated through the essence of the goddess energy of the Creator. However, the light cannot begin to infiltrate the static or the jumbled frequencies that make up the third, fourth dimensional physical vessel without the permission of the recipient and an ongoing opening of the Sacred Heart Center. You are correct as you think immediately that your work tonight is also an activation of the Sacred Heart. Your soul self, higher self, and God self are just waiting now for a signal from you to begin the process, to open the light line of eternal life. Your DNA is filled with light, and ever more so as you hear these words from me and others in the angelic realms. And every atom of your body is filled with light to one degree or another with these messages. If it were not so, you would not be listening, you would not be here. It is time to unlock the flow of God light from within and from without. And it is imperative that you remove the filters from your eyes and your mind. Tonight's inner child healing will allow you to unlock more doors, to allow more of the light in, to activate your sacred heart once more. You see, it is all about conscious awareness of self. For how could you experience diminished capacity if you retained your skills and total recall of who you are and your origins when you first were born? Also, how could you journey forth into the great void, leaving the purity and perfection of the source without experiencing a fragmentation of self? Much of this begins in childhood. And as you see, the veils are not really out there, but were formed within your own being. It is up to you now, and you alone, to dissolve the veils of consciousness within, so that once again you will have access to your true identity as a self-master. Think of yourself as a grand puzzle master, piecing your life back to wholeness, placing the puzzle pieces back where they should be, as they have been misplaced, shall we say, along the way. This is not your fault, and neither is it wrong. It is all part of your journey into ascension. Our great brother of light, Jesus, the elder brother as you know him, will not be returning to save you, and neither will I or any other of the masters, yet we will remain here with you to help you do your own work at all times. Call upon us, and we are always with you. Ascension is about ascending in consciousness and reclaiming the vastness of who you are as you traverse the path of illumination. And before we conclude tonight, we feel called to share It is true, and you have been told, that more and more of the children now being born are very old souls from distant universes or star systems, and they are indeed incarnating with more strands of DNA available to them. Also, in varying degrees, they have higher levels of cosmic consciousness available to them within their sacred mind. It is extremely important for you to understand that the rules have changed as the process of evolution spirals to the next level. Everything is on track. Everything is happening in accord with divine timing. This is why it's also so important for you to do your own healing at this time of the inner child. Each generation of souls from the past 100 years or so have incarnated with more of their cosmic memory available to them. In other words, the veil of forgetfulness is thinning and is slowly beginning to be eliminated altogether. Oh, beloved ones, the evolutionary process for humanity is in full swing and moving forward at an astounding pace. Open your minds now and your hearts, beloved ones, and embrace the infusion of divine love light that we bring to you this evening. Bask in the glory of reunion with us as we move forward together on this incredible journey into a new reality. We are with you always, and you are loved most profoundly. I am Archangel Michael, and tonight I bring you these truths. So be it. So take a deep, deep breath in, integrate these energies from our beloved Archangel Michael. And before we come back tonight, there's one thing left to do. You notice, in fact, there was a third orb of light. It did not form into a character, did not form into a figure. It just remains glowing there. As you sit up upon your great table in the Pyramid of Light, the elder brother, Jesus the Christ, motions you to step towards this great orb of light. It is golden white. As you move closer, you notice it has the shape of a Merkaba. Golden and glowing, it is about 3 times the size of you. Jeshua helps you through as you step into this great Merkaba of light. This great light time-traveling machine, organic, so to speak, will allow you to journey back to any moment in any lifetime that you've ever had on Earth. You may journey back to your childhood at specific moments. Specifically, it's for things that are blocked for you right now. So I ask you now just to bring forth into your consciousness your greatest trigger at this time in your life. Your greatest negative trigger. What is the one thing that makes you angry or sad or frustrated the most? Bring it into your mind's eye at this time. Bring it in with loving intent. And if you're ready, we will call upon this great Merkaba of light to take you back at the time to your childhood, when it's most likely you stored these negative energies. Perhaps you are ready to go there now, perhaps you are not. Either way, let us speak these words, and the healing that needs to be done for you will be brought forth at the time that it needs to. From the diamond core, the white seed atom of my being, unto the prime creator within me, I now call forth all my inner child unfinished business. Great mighty I am presence, great higher self, bring it forward to me now. Allow me to travel back to the exact moment when this energy became blocked. Bring forward now anything I have not looked at. Bring forward my fears, my jealousies, and my insecurities. As per my soul's journey, bring it all forward now and allow me to work on it. I am ready to heal fully. I am ready to bring all the fragments together to become whole once again. So be it, and so it is. You may feel yourself going back to a memory in your childhood. You may feel nothing comes to mind. Either way, what we have done now, we have opened the door, the great etheric tunnel, for the healing to begin. Let us take a moment now to feel into this space. Pay attention to see what comes up, if anything, for you. Be aware of your body. Be aware of anything you feel at this time. Remove your mind and allow your higher self to bring forth that which needs to be brought forth. Remember, you're in a safe place. Nothing can harm you here. Your guides and your team are around you. So breathe deep. Allow the memories to come forth if they need to. We are moving towards the conclusion of tonight's work, but you are encouraged to visit this place. There is now an open channel, deeper and more powerful than you've ever opened before. So when you're ready, let us start to come back, feeling complete and satisfied and grateful for this great healing tonight, to be here with the family of light, all doing their own inner child work. Every single person has something to heal. Yes, the work is individual, but it is also together in parallel. So thank Jeshua, thank Archangel Michael, thank all your guides and your team with you in your personal pyramid. They await your return whenever you are ready. Let us take a deep breath in and release, release, release. Take a couple more if you need to. You're encouraged after tonight's meditation to drink plenty of water, to take some time for you to allow the emotions to stream forth however they need to. Do not resist them anymore, beloved ones. And let us start to come back. I will count from 5 to 0. 0 being the most back in the body and awake. 5, saying goodbye to the masters, leaving your personal pyramid of light and coming back into the body. 4, feeling the merging of your etheric self with your physical self. 3, just moving feet and hands. 2, wiggling toes and wrists and fingers. 1, moving the shoulders from side to side. And when ready, 0. Wide awake. Welcome back. Om Dat Sat Om. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna have big lips now.
Okay.
I'll give you a moment to come back.
It's powerful stuff, honey.
We hope you enjoyed that. We hope it unlocked another level for you.
You know, it started raining like right at the end, pretty hard. So like we could hear it. And it's almost like a switch was flipped this week, like yesterday or like a couple days ago. It's just all of a sudden, like it feels like spring.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, we're getting, bugs all in our yard, and we're seeing people jump in bathing suits in the lake, and everything is not frozen anymore. The rain is coming. Like it really feels like spring is here. It really feels like there's been a change in season, in energies, in us. Like it's pretty profound right
Great
now.
power, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know if you're feeling that. We certainly are. And this is why we celebrate New Year upcoming actually very shortly, because everything comes into bloom. It's a renewal. It's a burst of life. It's sort of an awakening. And of course, we have this great conjunction happening with Pisces, as Kelly talked about at the beginning, which not a conjunction,
more
sorry,
of a transit.
More of a transition.
But there is a big conjunction that did happen yesterday, actually. I made a note of it. It was Jupiter in Chiron. So it's actually a very rare conjunction. And
Chiron or Chiron?
I think it's Chiron. I don't know.
CH?
Yeah.
Some people pronounce it Chiron. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Alicia always says Chiron.
Does she now?
She does. And she is the planet expert. So I'm going with what she says.
The planet diva.
Anyways, the previous time was in 2009. But apparently it's activating a powerful healing portal, and it's strongly charged with the energy of expanded consciousness and new beginnings. So, really taking advantage of these energies while we're in them. And this is why we're doing that deep healing. So I actually read that on @Divine Energy Works on Instagram, and I shared that on our story. So you guys can always go to our Instagram and find us at _sunflower_life. And we're always posting about our upcoming meditations and podcasts and all kinds of secret spiritual nuggets. So
secret spiritual nuggets.
That's what you like to say. I
got
that from you.
They're not secret, guys. You know all of this stuff. You know all of it. We're just remembering at different stages, aren't we? What a beautiful journey it is. So, yeah, just honored by your presence and the work you're doing tonight. Hopefully you have some breakthroughs. I know some of you are commenting in the chat that things are emerging from the mist. Of course, we agree to forget things and store things so we can come back and learn them and integrate them and heal them at the right time on our human journey. And it's all part of what we're doing right now. There's nothing wrong with anything you're doing. You're doing exactly what you need to do to be where you're at.
They wrote Chiron, but they're like spelling it, so I still don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's spelled Chiron. I think it's pronounced Chiron because you have the Bugatti
Well,
Chiron as a
sweetheart,
car.
we pronounce a lot of things differently.
Whatever you
Tomato,
wish.
tomato.
There's no wrong.
Butter, water.
There's no wrong.
Water.
Let the tears flow.
I do like to make fun of his accent sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful that you guys were here with us tonight, and yeah, just so much great stuff.
Go and pick up a shadow work t-shirt, guys. Up on the screen. Men's and women's. Shadow work is my love language. Love that one.
That's so funny. And we always try to say this at the beginning of the meditation, but I'm just remembering now. So if you guys are joining us from one of our other YouTube channels, like the Galactic Federation of Light, the GFL station, or Above and Beyond Duality, we only live stream to those channels. So as soon as we cut the feed in a few minutes, you're going to lose connection there. So if you ever want to replay the meditation, or if you start late, the feed might get cut off. So just make sure that you guys are hopping on and following us from our main channel, YouTube, the Sunflower Life Official. What's that you're pointing out?
Cindy says we love his accent and his voice. Please don't make fun of him. Yeah, thanks, Cindy.
All right, Cindy's on your side.
Just kidding. No, yeah, make sure you jump across to the Sunflower Life Official to catch any replays.
I love it too, just obviously. I love it
I
too.
know you do. We all love each other. But yeah, as Kelly said, they'll be cut off from the other channels. So jump onto Sunflower Life Official to watch the replay of the show. I normally post it. I post a link to the Sunflower Life Meditation, the hub, on the other channels. But yeah, get into the habit of doing that. We bid you, because sometimes we cut you off when we cut the feed. So yeah.
So anything else that we should be
next week
chatting about? Next week is a huge week, you guys. It is the spring equinox on Monday, March 20th. So this is why we're doing Monday, March meditations, because we are in alignment with the energies, and we are absolutely going to be taking advantage of this incredibly powerful equinox portal. So Sunday, March 20th, we shall see you for our next weekly global meditation. And to follow that, I do believe episode number 3 of our podcast is going to be happening on the 28th.
Should we announce who it is?
We can announce who it is.
It's the wonderful Patricia Corey, who is a great Syrian ambassador for the Syrian energies. You probably are well aware of her work. If you're not, she's amazing.
She's written like how many books? Like 25 books or something.
Yeah.
And we're reading them right now. So I'm reading her newest book and just really getting familiar with her work, because David is the one who's introducing me to her for the first time. This is her most recent book. It's called Hacking the God Code. I'm reading this. And yeah, David's had podcasts with her on his
a number of times.
Age of Pandora podcast. So he's really familiar with her work, and he's reading one of her older books right now. The Emissary or Emissary?
Emissary, yeah.
Okay.
That's an interesting book, actually, yeah. But yeah, she's a very interesting woman, has got an absolute reservoir of knowledge on all things ascension, and a lot of them on ET as well. Specifically with the Syrian collective. She's
and she's been channeling the Syrians.
Syrian High Council for a long time. So we don't want to miss that. That is, what date's that? That's
I believe it's the 28th.
28th, okay.
Yes.
But we'll advertise that on the channel. If you want to jump on our mailing list quickly, go to the sunflowerlife.com website. At the bottom of the page, there's a little form to fill out to join our mailing list to make sure you never miss another show like tonight or a podcast coming up. We very rarely, if at all, send any emails out apart from that, just advertising what we got coming up. So don't worry about spam and things like that. I know it's a great bane of my email life. There's so many spam emails, so we don't do that. We
only send the link on the day that we're doing our global meditation or our podcast. So don't worry, we won't spam you guys. But I think that's all for tonight.
Even our cat meditates with us to David's voice.
Go okay. Everybody
for the
loves
okay.
David's voice.
Wow.
God, I shouldn't have made fun
Oh
of
my
you.
goodness. No, we
we
know.
actually do get this feedback all the time that people could just listen to your voice all day.
I'm
so
not sure about that. Anyway, very kind of you guys. We're all just in this together, so it's nice of you to say it. But yeah, we thank all of you for joining here tonight. Go back into your personal pyramid of light if you need to. Do it often, guys. Go into that little Merkaba of light and do the inner child healing. It's a safe place. It's only you there. Bring in your team and the guides that you're working with and the masters, and you'll be right at home. So
Absolutely. And this is a meditation that probably needs to be repeated. There's a lot of information in there. So even if you're just listening to it and maybe journaling or writing some things down, asking yourself some hard questions, if it's a hard place for you to go, this is definitely one you could probably repeat a couple of times. I know we do tend to put a lot of information out there in our meditations. So some people have shared that it's been helpful to listen a couple of times. Alicia.
Some astrologers pronounce the ch, like Chiron. Okay. Well, there we go.
The CH, like chai.
Chiron. Okay.
We love you too, Kelly. Thank you.
Thanks for
I needed that.
We know you do. We're just messing with you.
What about my voice, guys? Do you like my voice?
Of course they do. I love our voice. You love our voice. We all love each other. But anyway, before we continue rambling, let's sign off. But thank you for all joining us tonight, my friends. Thank you for joining us, all of you.
Chiron,
Chiron,
and Uranus
okay.
are my favorites.
Okay, there we go. Let's end on that note, shall we?
That's for Alicia because she's on here.
Oh, okay.
It's our inside joke.
All right, guys.
She calls it Uranus.
Lots of love. Take in these energies and share this meditation with whoever you feel it will have value to. We're trying to spread the family of light messages. Sharing your light right now is so important. It's a real big one. So go and do that with whoever you meet. And thank you for all the work that you're doing. We'll see you on the next Global Mass Meditation. And right after that, we got Patricia Corey for the Towards the Light podcast, episode 3, which is going to be very good. So more on that in a bit. What's that?
Carissa said, now that's the inner child speaking. Yes, I feel much more immature ever since that meditation, guys. Thank you so much. Towards the light we go.
Towards the light. We're signing off. We love you. We'll see you soon.